Hey y'all, welcome back to Mulberry Branch Farm. Ashley here with you again, and today we are back out on our duck pen and raised garden bed relocation project. We're getting pretty close to being finished. I know it seems we've been working on this project for a long time, and really, when I think about it, yeah, we have. We've been working on this project for, we started it at the end of August. We got COVID, got sick, we're down, life happened, and we got to get back out at it. So you can see we've got our divider fence for our garden on this side and the duck pen on this side. So today what I've got is I've got fencing, I got some boards, and I want to go ahead and I want to move all my raised garden boxes down here up to where the new garden will be, but I'm probably not going to use all these boxes, mostly because they're about 5 to 6 years old, and you can tell some of these boxes just did not weather the way that I thought they would, but they're going to help me map out my new garden. So let's go ahead, let's map out the new garden, and then let's see what kind of fencing we've got to put up. Okay, that was a little bit more work than I thought it was going to be. Now we do have two boxes that pretty much fell apart and one that's got some things on it, so there should be another box over here, but these won't be the boxes that we use, guys. These are just to help us map into, I'm a very visual learner. I like when I can see things. I use this up here to create art. I don't use it to build structures and things like this. So this just kind of gives us a little bit of a visual as to what the garden's going to look like. We probably won't be using boxes this big going forward. So I'm pretty sure those are 4x6s. Yeah, they look like they're about a 4x6 box, which that's good. That's a good size. There's nothing wrong with this size of box. It's just for what we're doing, it doesn't work. So we'll probably be using more of these boxes out on the other side that are like a 2 foot by 6 foot all the way around, so we can get more varieties, more controlled spaces. So this is just to kind of help us get the picture going up here to figure out how many boxes we need, which means how much more supplies we need. But a lot of these boxes will be repurposed for gates or other things that will go to support our garden. They might even go to making smaller square garden boxes that fit in between these, because we want to make the most out of the space that we're given. But I'm just kind of in awe. Mark couldn't stop. So he's like, it looks like a garden. You can tell what's going to be here. So it's fun for it all to go from up here in paper to kind of being able to visualize it. And we're going to be able to grow a lot more food. It's closer to our water source. It'll be protected from the ducks because the duck pen is going to be right over here, this whole area. So if I can catch all of them to clip their wings. I think I've still got 3 or 4 that keep eluding me when it comes to clipping wings, and they're just flying right over the fence. So as long as we can keep their wings clipped, that's a huge space for our duck pen. But guys, it's coming together. I can kind of see the end result now. It's rabbit garden fencing. So it's really small at the bottom to keep out any type of critters that want to get into my garden, but it also doubles when it runs along this side down here where it's actually going to be part of the fencing for the ducks. It makes it so ducklings and younger ducks cannot get through. And as it gets a little bit taller, the fence openings widen, but not enough for any ducks to get through. So we're actually going to have, so we've got our wire right here. We're going to have a board here where it leaves like a little bit of a skirt underneath, and then another board up here to kind of hide the top of this fence. So aesthetically, for me, it's pleasing, and that'll also allow us to put up another board about this high, which I know he's OCD, I'm OCD, so really we want the boards to be spaced out evenly, but also to be pleasing. And this can also double as things for vining plants to pull up onto. I really was thinking about either moving my bittersweet or my hummingbird vine over here to let it kind of drape over and look beautiful. But this is going to be the border for our new garden. You think of it, babe?
Looks good.
He's doing really good.
No, well, we just gotta cut that one because of the pitch changes for the
Yeah, the pitch does change. So you guys will see here, it actually starts to taper off. So we've cut it on this one, and we'll take another piece of fencing from that, put it here, run it, and if the grade gets even lower, then we'll stop, cut, rinse, and repeat, so that it just kind of stays pretty close to the ground, but it doesn't look wonky from the outside, because that's a bad thing about when you're working with boards and fencing like this. If you let them just go straight, sometimes if the pitch of the ground, especially here, is sloping, it leaves a little bit of a dip underneath. And then if you get your fencing to follow that, sometimes it'll make the top of your fencing bubble, and it makes it structurally less sound, and it looks pretty not good. Pretty not good. Is this what you need to keep doing the project?
Yeah.
This
helps.
that and coffee.
Yeah.
It's coming along though.
Yeah, and you got these little blocks, which are nice when the wind blows to knock them off. But it makes it where you only need one set of hands.
Yeah.
So you can pressure wash.
That might be my cue to go back to work, I guess. So He-Man over here has been at it again. We just got home from Tennessee yesterday. Of course, Mark has more energy than I do. He's already out here getting up the picket fence. So you guys can see we've got most of the fencing done to keep the ducks in on this side. We still have fencing over there and in the back side, but doesn't it look just so pretty? We repainted the white picket fence. Joe helped me with that. There's some touching up that needs to be done, but it's nice to see that it's actually finally coming to fruition. You like seeing it come to life, Dave?
Yep. And like Ashley said, we're recycling a lot of our existing garden boxes and fence so that we don't have that much cost into it. Really.
No, 100%. So these are the old picket fences that were actually down in the raised garden beds before. We just slapped on a new coat of paint, probably a little bit too liberally, because with the fall time temperatures fluctuating, it's not drying quite the way I would like it to, but that's totally fine. It just helps to seal this wood. Mark got the gate up right before we left to make it easy for our farm sitter. Very nice. Look, it opens up.
So this one wasn't painted yet, so we'll have to go back and touch it up, but it's just an extra one we used to do some test cuts to see how the gate would work.
It actually was part of a portion that was too short for the rest of the fence, so it was perfect. Huh?
We'll put a latch on there.
Yeah, there'll eventually be a latch, but for right now it's the bungee cord.
But it's way easier than before.
Yeah, it is way easier.
There's no gate, so.
But it's crazy to think how far we've come. Looks great, babe. You did a great job. So it's actually been a couple of weeks since we've been able to get out here and do all the things that we want to do, but it's my favorite part of the project. It's that point in the project where you can come out and there's enough out here that you can kind of visualize what's supposed to be going on here. And Squiggy agrees. He has approved all of the work here. You guys must need food. They must be out of food because he never does this unless they're out of food. Wow. All talk. You're all talk. So Mark's actually gotten all of these posts over here set for gates. He's got the bump out to where the housing's going to be. And then he's just got one more portion here. Now what we're going to do in here for the housing, it's going to be a little bit different. So we're actually going to put our duck houses, there'll be 2 of them, we're going to put them up on platforms. This is to give the ducks some space underneath and also to kind of keep the coops up and off the ground so that they're not as susceptible to moisture and all the dirtiness that is a duck. Even though Muscovy ducks are a lot cleaner than your normal run-of-the-mill ducks. So we're going to have that back here, we need to fence in here, and then we've got the garden beds. And I think we've decided, even with the cost of lumber, that it's going to be cheaper for us to make our own garden beds with lumber rather than to order metal garden beds like I was contemplating. But yeah, it's starting to come together. Mark's worked so hard out here. It's looking great. The ducks love their new area. They're out and about a lot more. And we're just really excited that this project is kind of nearing its end. So I think that's going to do it for us today on our Muscovy Duck Pen build and raised garden bed relocation. We're kind of at the point where we're going to start disassembling a lot of these raised garden beds and creating something else with them. Probably gates, things that we need here around the farm. And we're to the point now here where we've got some more fencing that needs to be done, platforms to be built, buildings to be brought in, and we'll be at a nice little stopping point for our Muscovy Duck Pen. We plan to do a lot of rotational grazing, and I'm not quite sure what's going to happen to that building, but I'm sure we'll find something very useful to do with the remnants and the old bones of that there duck house. But until next time, guys, we hope you're all staying safe out there and being kind to one another. God bless. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye, y'all. Welcome back, friends. Ashley here with you at Mulberry Branch Farm. I don't like to do intros, fine.